What is up, guys? Delboy here. So Julius Indongo completely schools Ricky Burns to win the WBA world title, and that goes along with his IBF and IBO world titles. So he has two of the major belts, and Terence Crawford has the other two. So 140 is shaping up nicely. There's no reason why that division shouldn't be tied up in the next 12 months or so. Let's start, man. Round one, Indongo comes out looking for that big left hand behind his jab early. He looks a little bit raw and gangly, but as the rounds go on, this will prove to be to his benefit, He's applying good pressure in the first round. Indongo, starts very quickly. I made a note in the first round, can he sustain this pace? Because he's got a very herky-jerky style, throws a lot of punches, throwing the shots, particularly the left hand, with a bit of venom as well. That was a question in my mind in the first round. Can Indongo sustain it? And in the first round, Indongo bossed it for me. Round two, Indongo again comes out looking for that big left hand. Burns is blocking well at stages, but Indongo's popping that southpaw jab and keeping active. Burns needs to utilise his jab and try to work the body, try to make it a bit more rough on Julius Indongo. But round two, again, clear Indongo round. Round three, Indongo again landing jabs at will. He's jabbing the head of Ricky Burns, but he's also changing levels with it. He's not just sort of popping out a jab for the sake of it. He's jabbing hard to the head, hard to the body, feint jabs. The jab is really educated. He makes the most of his reach, and he can set that left hand up off that jab. So yeah, in round three, he's jabbing to the head and the body well, looking for that big left hand. Ricky Burns does try to let his hands go. He lands a good right hand, but Indongo again lands big lefts to the body, and again, round three, a clear Indongo round. Round four, Indongo still utilising that jab, followed by the big left hand. Indongo is really trying to force the pace and break Ricky Burns down, looking for those big body shots, and he's really forcing the pace. He's really the boss in there. Burns had no success at all in round four. Round five, Indongo starts strong again, landing good body shots. Burns lands a little good counter right hand, but then Burns gets hurt by a left hand. Burns is being broken down at this stage. Burns tries to flurry, but nothing really lands. Indongo's body shots are very effective. You can really feel the weight of them, and you can hear them on the TV. Big thudding body shots. And Burns, he was comprehensively beaten up in round five. Round six, Indongo comes out strong again, landing big left hands to the body. The straight left hand works really well. Burns does land a couple of good right hands, but Indongo responds with solid left hands to the body and the head, as well as that jab consistently working. Round six again, a clear Indongo round. Round seven, Burns needs a big round. He's lost all six on my scorecard so far. Indongo again landing straight left to the body, which is another really effective punch. Burns lands a decent right hand. Burns tries to let his hands go in this round, but he has no real success, apart from the odd shot here and there. Burns is struggling with the distance. He can't take that jab away from Indongo. He can't get inside. He is having no success really, apart from a couple of shots in round seven. But again, round seven, a clear Indongo round. Round eight, Indongo is still not slowing down, showing excellent cardio, consistently throwing that jab and hard left hand to the body and the head. The rounds at this point are essentially rinse and repeat. It's the same thing every round. Burns struggling to close the distance, the jab for Indongo working to the body and the head, the left hand working to the body and the head. Indongo's just having fun in there, Again, in round eight, Burns was hurt by a right hook counter. Burns is getting bashed up in this round. So round eight, clear Indongo round. Round nine, Burns is having no success whatsoever. Indongo landing the big left again to the head and the body. Indongo is really starting to stalk and looking for that KO. Burns lands a hard combo, but you know it had no success. That was his best combo of a fight, actually. His best punches of a fight in round 9, but they didn't make any effect whatsoever on Indongo. Burns is trying to force the pace a little more, but it's still not enough. Indongo still clearly won the round, and round 9 was actually I felt round 9 was Burns' best round, but it still wasn't enough. Round 10, Indongo seems to be taking a little bit of a breather. You know, his output is not the same, but he's still picking the jab off well. He's still countering well, still establishing the distance with his straight shots and a jab. Indongo is still the boss. Round 10, a clear Indongo round, but he does look a little bit... Both guys look tired at this point. However, round 11, Indongo comes out strong again. You know, round 10 must have been just a round where he was taking a breather. You know, he looks good with right hook counters. Indongo looks like he's found his second wind. Indongo lands 1-2s at will. He's really forcing the pace in this round as well. Starting to, you know, switch into the body and the head. It's looking like he wants to push for that late stoppage. But again, round 11, clear Indongo round. Round 12, you know, Indongo just needs to get to the bell. He could be knocked down 3 times and he'd still win the fight. You know, Indongo, still the boss, still landing hard counters, jabbing well, countering well. Everything is working for Julius Indongo. And, you know, to close the round, Indongo lands a hard left hand. And round 12, again, was an Indongo round. I scored this fight 12 rounds to 0 for Julius Indongo. Excellent performance. Before the fight, I actually picked Ricky Burns because I didn't know anything about Indongo. All we had was the knockout against Troyanowski, and there was a round of his of another one of his fights where he looked kind of raw, and that kind of put me off Indongo. You know, he looked really raw in that other round what I saw him in, but you know what, he put it all together tonight and he looked very effective. Indongo has flaws. He does reach in a lot. He's got an awkward style. He's very herky jerky, but I think it's one of those styles where it's hard to time, it's hard to counter because he's up on his feet a lot. He sort of reaches in weirdly, but he's got such a long reach that he can get away with it, you know. But he's definitely open for counters. So when he fights somebody like Terence Crawford, I think Crawford is going to have opportunities to counter. But the style is awkward. He's got power. He's got reach. He's got a good engine, good jab to the body and the head. He's an awkward fighter to fight, and it's going to take a very good fighter to beat him, you know. So yeah, I was really impressed with Julius Indongo. He made a believer out of me. I doubted him before the fight, but you know what? He came out and put on a great performance. And, you know, we've got no problem with being wrong on this channel, you know. It was a joy to watch, to be quite honest. So, yeah, where do both fighters go? I think Ricky Burns, well, in an ideal world, Ricky Burns should retire. But, you know, I'm not Ricky Burns. I can't make that decision for him. If he still thinks he has something left, then he needs to fight on, because ultimately it's his decision. But if he does fight on, maybe he could go back down to 135. Maybe try and get a big domestic fight with Luke Campbell and sort of cash out there. Listen, man, Eddie Hearn's a great promoter, and I'm sure he's going to find Ricky Burns another big fight, but I think the guy's done, to be honest. And I think he's been past his best for a long while now. But yeah, excellent performance from Indongo. Where does he go? Ultimately, the only logical step is to fight the Crawford and Felix Diaz winner. That's the fight we want to see. The fight's easy to make. They're both with promoters who have no issue with each other. I don't even know who Indongo's promoter is. So yeah, that fight is makeable. There's no reason not to make it. You know, we could tie up all of the belts in the division if those two fight each other. Or, well, the winner of Felix Diaz and Crawford versus Indongo, if they fight each other, then all the belts are going to be tied up. Indongo also has his mandatory challenger for the IBF, which is Sergei Lipinets, who's a good fighter. But from what I saw tonight, I'd actually pick Indongo to beat him. What do you guys think? Where do both guys go? What did you think of Indongo? I was really impressed. Tell me what you guys thought. Peace.